What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darian's Pokemon. I'm going to be playing a game on PTCGO, and I'm trying out Advan's Metal Garb deck. Dusk Mane Garbodor. I've never played a game with this deck before. I have no idea what to expect as far as gameplay goes. Where do we go from here with the metagame? I have no idea, but I am interested to give this deck out a try. I've heard that the Buzzgarb deck has been very popular on PTCGO. I've had lots of friends telling me that they can't stop playing against it, that lots of people are playing the Buzzwole Carbink Garb, that the people love it. That makes me excited. I think it's a very good deck, so I hope that other players kind of gravitate towards it and enjoy playing it as much as I do. This deck can do pretty well against Buzzwole Garbodor, especially if the opponent does not know what to expect or does not know what's going on. It looks like we might be playing against a more traditional Buzzwole Garbodor deck here. You see the Bridget come down right away. I wonder if they are playing what Max Elixir looks like. They got the Carbink, they got Buzzwole, so this could be a version with Max Elixir. I really have no idea, but I know I don't play Bridget in my list, so that could be the list with the Acerollas and no Max Elixir, but we'll see. So, looks like we have ourselves a Lele, but we don't need it because we don't actually play any. We don't play any Bridget in here. I probably am just going to start off with the Cynthia and see where that leads us. There's no real reason to Sycamore yet. I probably want to put Fighting Fury belts on my Mewtwo and on my Dusk Mane, so I can't really see a reason to Floatstone either. Let's just go ahead and Cynthia and see if we can at least get an Energy Nest Ball. This is a great opening hand. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get a Nest Ball, grab probably a Solgaleo. I mean, that's probably going to be good. And then we're going to want to start accelerating with Solgaleo, but we also don't want to put the Solgaleo out there early. We probably want to start, just get a Registeel out there maybe, and probably start with that. Or Trubbish, but my opponent's playing Garbodor, so there's really no reason. Now, my opponent might be playing Trashlands Garbodor, so I do have to look out for that. I could just go in with the Mewtwo here with the Psychic attached to it, and then just start plugging away turn 2. I'll probably just end up doing that. So we'll put the Fighting Fury Belt on the Mewtwo, slap the metal on it, and just say, you know what, turn 2, we'll just go in and start Psychicking whatever's in the active position. If my opponent throws up Carbink, that's fine. Looks like they are playing the Max Elixir version of Buzzwole Garb, so pretty cool. I personally was not playing the Bridget in my list. I don't think it's needed in that deck. I mean, you play Nest Ball. That's plenty set up for any sort of Buzzwole deck. Looks like they did not hit their Floatstone, which is unfortunate. But we've got an awesome hand here to start to get going. I think I'm going to slap the Fighting Fury Belt on my Dusk Mane. I know I'm going to want that there. I also have a Floatstone if I need it, an Ultra Ball. I can just knock out this Trubbish, so that's cool. And if I make my opponent Absorption my Mewtwo, then that's great, because then I could just come in with my Dusk Mane and hopefully I'll have some energy on it. Maybe I can Sun's Eclipse GX or something like that. I won't be able to Sun's Eclipse if I take the knockout here. So actually, that's a little. This deck is more difficult to play than it might let on. Let's Ultra Ball away. I think let's get this Floatstone out of here, and maybe the Metal Energy. I think I want to get those out of there. Even though I hope I hit another Metal Energy. I want to set up a second Dusk Mane, just so that I have 2 that I'm working on here. I'm going to slap my other Fighting Fury Belt on that one. Let's see if we hit Max Elixir. We don't, even though we play like 12 energy. That's fine. All right, Sycamore. So we do get Parallel City. That is very good. If I can make my opponent, I don't know, maybe I can get them to bump their Trubbish or something. That could be cool. And I definitely want to play Parallel down before they play Parallel down, so that is significant because I don't want them limiting my bench. I also don't have a supporter in my hand right now, so I am going to want to Lele for 1 just to have it preemptively. And then, I mean, I guess I will attach my metal energy to something and just kind of go from there. I think I'm going to just grab a Cynthia and just say, hey, all right, I got it myself a Cynthia for next turn. I could just Psychic. That's probably welcoming up an Absorption, but that's okay, I think. Then I could just go in with my Registeel and just start accelerating. And if my opponent wastes their GX on my Mewtwo, I'm really not mad. So let's just go ahead and do that. Just Psychic, knock that Trubbish out, and just actually it's not knocked out. I don't know what I'm thinking. So that's still a good play. Psychic there, make my opponent have to retreat that. I'm fine with that. My brain is all sorts of whacked out on the math there. I thought that maybe I was doing like 40 damage or something like that. So only doing 30 to the Trubbish. It's not a knockout, but that's fine. I'm still fine plugging away with the Mewtwo there and just forcing my opponent to do something to it. And, you know, just putting them in an awkward spot. No Buzzwole deck wants to deal with a Mewtwo. But that being said, my opponent's got 2 Buzzwoles built up right now with the Carbink. So things are escalating probably a little quicker than I would want to. I'm going to throw up the Registeel, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be getting enough energy onto these things early in order to make some magical plays happen. All right. We do got our Solgaleo down. We'll probably start doing that. And then I could throw another Registeel down too. And then we just have to go ahead and end, even though that's going to raise my opponent's hand count by 1. I have to put this down as well. And let's just end. I mean, we need to get some energy going. There's no other way. There's nothing else we could do. We need to get energy on board now. And, you know, I guess my opponent is then just going to Knuckle Impact this Registeel. They have Carbink in play. I mean, that deck's amazing. I mean, I love that Buzzwole Garb deck. It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna throw this thing here onto that Dusk Mane. Then we're just gonna go and we are going to Turbo Arm here and accelerate. Yup, 1 onto my Dusk Mane. So now my opponent's actually in a weird spot because if they knock out, or if they do anything really, if they don't knock out this Dusk Mane here, oh, they're just taking out the Solgaleo Prism. Ah, that hurts. This is fine, though, because they have just, like, welcomed me up to just take them out with my Sun's Eclipse GX. So this is fine. I have no qualms with this whatsoever. Let's just go ahead. I can even just energy switch up to that thing. That is super cool. And then my opponent's probably going to have a hard time knocking it out with this return Buzzwole. So that I do like that. Let's actually do that. Energy switch here, that metal energy onto the benched one. So that way I kind of am building that up. I'm going to bench this Trubbish so I can Lily for more. And then let's go ahead and Lily as well. We do have a Max Elixir in hand. So things are progressing here pretty nicely. I did not hit it, but that's fine. Let's see. So I'm putting forth a lot of pressure right now, especially if my opponent is not playing any Field Blower, just like my list was not playing any Field Blower either. Then they are going to have a really hard time dishing out 230 damage that it takes to knock out this Dusk Mane. And if they don't, you can see just how aggressive this deck is. I already have Energy Floatstone Guzma and can take out all of their energy in play. So things certainly do escalate here pretty quickly. I have to imagine that my opponent is going Lele for N right now, though. They do not want me to have that energy. Probably the best play would be, oh no, they're going for Cynthia. I guess, oh, and they play Field Blower. I was not playing Field Blower in my list. Oh no. So they are probably going to get the knockout so long as they get a Fighting Fury belt or a Choice Band or something like that off the Cynthia. Then they are going to, as well as the Fighting Energy. I mean, so they do need a 2-card combination. Strong, that'll get there. They do more than enough damage to knock out my Dusk Mane. That is sad. Okay, so I did not expect that Field Blower. I mean, I guess I was not anticipating that. So let's see here. My opponent's only got 2 prizes remaining. I'm going to have to end here for sure. I'm putting up the Trubbish because I plan on using that Floatstone there. I'm going to promote a non-EX, non-GX attacker. Registeel for sure. Let's go ahead, Max Elixir, see if we hit that. I do. And I'm just going to accelerate into this Registeel and hope that my opponent does not draw what they need off of this end. We're going to evolve into Garbodor as well, limit my opponent's abilities, and then let's just go ahead. I think probably, no, I don't want to bench that. All right, we're just going to end. So if my opponent has Guzma, then they are just going to win, and that's just the way that it is. But if they don't have Guzma, then we actually have a shot here because I have Floatstone in my hand as well. I can just, slap the Floatstone on my Registeel here and then blow this guy up in the active. I have to imagine my opponents probably, if they do not have Guzma, they will just retreat into Carbink though, charge the Buzzwole back up. This is the busted part about the deck. Just so good. They don't have to, they don't have to Guzma. They don't have to keep their Buzzwole in danger. They're just going to charge that Buzzwole back up and wait patiently. So that is really, really good. I do have Guzma, but I don't have the energy. Oh my gosh, how horrible is that? All right, my opponent did not have it last turn. So let's just go ahead and do it one more time. I think we just have to I have already the Guzma in hand, so I'm just going to Turbo Arm one more time and hope that my opponent does not top deck Guzma here. As long as they did not top deck the Guzma, now we are in good shape. They have Fighting Fury Belt. They have Cynthia. Okay, that is fine. So long as they don't have like another Field Blower and another way to get their attacker online, I actually can pull this game out weirdly enough, just because they don't have, like, you see them putting the energy there. They don't want to put their Buzzwole active. They know that this Dusk Mane is super scary. They are loading onto their own Carbink for a very powerful power gem. All right, we got it though. We got that Guzma on the Buzzwole. We're going to promote our Garbodor, and we have enough energy here. I don't think that there's anything super worth Ultra Balling right now. I kind of like having all these things here, but if my opponent ends me, probably want to thin my hand as much as I can, so I'll put a Floatstone, I guess, onto the Dusk Mane just so that I can retreat it after my opponent, gets blown up here. Now, this is the unfortunate part about this deck. It's just the pacing. So, like, I have taken this clutch knockout, but now my opponent is going to go ahead and just, Carbink to another Buzzwole. I have to imagine that they have the cards to be able to do that, or they're just going to smack me with this Carbink break. Right, there comes down a new Buzzwole. They're just going to Carbink to another Buzzwole. And now if I had not played Parallel, they would have been able to bench that Buzzwole the turn previous. They're also playing Super Rod. I did not play that in my list either. So some interesting inclusions by Mr. Dravenik here. Dravenik, I don't know. But pretty cool stuff nonetheless. I have to imagine my opponent is going to charge with Diamond Gift. Now, if they have Energy Guzma in their hand, they win the game. That's a little sketchy. I don't really have anything to stop my opponent from doing that. I don't have an N in my hand. I used my both copies of N. Yep, this deck's only running 2 copies of N. I've used them both. So we just have to go ahead and hope that my opponent does not have it. That is the name of the game here. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball these 2 things away. I don't think, there's no option here to get rid of this stuff. I can't Guzma. I don't have Energy Switch. Nope. So let's just put that Floatstone down, and then we're just going to Cynthia as well and end up retreating and just, we're going to Ultra Ball away that Nest Ball and the Trubbish too, just to thin our hand even more. Guess I'll grab the Lele just in case my opponent does Field Blower me, but I don't even have the win in hand now. I no longer have that Guzma. And the reason I needed to play a supporter and not just keep that Guzma hand is because I needed an energy to attach next turn as well. So here we go, accelerating back to Dusk Mane. This is kind of like the unfortunate part about the deck, is if you kind of get the rug swept out from you early, they have it. Oh, they don't have it. Oh my gosh. You get the rug swept out from you early, things can really go downhill. But now I'm in a situation where if I top deck Guzma, I win this game. So that is nuts. And I do have like 3 Guzma left in deck. I've only used 1. So it's definitely a possibility if my opponent, maybe they cut into a Guzma in order to fit some of the stuff that they have in their deck. Hopefully they didn't. And I got Guzma for game. I knew it. I had 3 of them in deck. Oh my gosh, we got there. Let's go for that Lele. And we were able to win this game. My opponent could not find the Guzma they needed for win, and we got there first. So crazy game. Oh my gosh. I love that deck. I hate to beat that deck because that Buzzwole Garbodor is the deck that I really love. But you can see we got there with Dusk Mane. The pacing of Dusk Mane is a little bit frustrating sometimes. I don't like that you have to just recharge after you do your big attack. I love in the Buzzwole Garb deck, all you have to do is get a Buzzwole, loaded it up, and you just Guzma, Knuckle Impact, and the game can end very quickly. You saw with this deck, things are much more grindy. There's a lot more, all right, we take a knockout, maybe we take another knockout, and then we have to wait. Now, we did get... we got punished there because my opponent was able to hit that Field Blower, which they played, and were able to take out my clean Dusk Mane after I GX. So that's when the pace of the game really slowed down. Usually you want to take out a big threat with your GX attack and then follow up with just a single attachment and then a big Meteor Tempest. Anyways, going to show off Advan's list one more time just for anyone that didn't see the deck profile on it. It's a super sweet list. Cool idea, cool concept. Unfortunately, was not able to get that Solgaleo Prism rocket and rolling. You could see how much of a threat that thing was targeted down immediately by my opponent as soon as I put that into play. The Mewtwo, my opponent wasted no time disposing of that with the absorption, but you know, Registeel and Dusk Mane were able to get there in the end, so pretty cool stuff. My opponent, hopefully, maybe if they cut a Guzma from their list, you can see how that deck needs 4 Guzma. If they ended up cutting a Guzma, it's not worth it. Gotta play 4 Guzma in a Buzzwole list. Maybe they prize some or something like that. It looks like they just could not find them at the end of the game there. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, follow me on Twitter at enjoyfriend, ENJOY friend. Thank you all for watching. Peace.